Have you ever had the belief that something should always be done a certain way and then it wasn't done that way? Or how about the opposite, thinking that something should never happen and then it happened? Always, never, and only are words that are often found in the type of irrational belief which I call extremes. These are limiting because they are based on the completely irrational idea that there is only one right way to do something or only one possible solution, and that things have to go that way or else. This is one of the most narrow-minded type of irrational thinking a person can hold. You've probably heard dozens of beliefs based on extremes like always say you're sorry, only speak when a grown-up says to, never talk with your mouth full, always finish what's on your plate, a child must never question authority, and so forth. My whole childhood was riddled with rules which included always, only, and never. I couldn't quite keep them all straight, so I spent most of my childhood in trouble for one infraction after another. When we get stuck in always, only, and never kind of thinking, what happens is there's so much energy invested in that particular outcome that if it does not occur, which is most often the case, there's a strong reaction of emotional upset. In other words, to the degree that you hold a certain expectation, you will experience an equal amount of disappointment when that expectation is not met. Imagine the housewife who's holding the standard, always wipe your feet before entering. She's going to be upset again and again and again as people carelessly tromp through her home, leaving muddy footprints. Her energy of always will actually create the opposite effect, as people hate to be told that they have to. So they therefore will be unconsciously blocking her rule. The more uptight she feels about her standard, the more people will resist and push against it. If she could lighten up a little bit, drop into a more neutral position, and let go of the expectation of how others might react, she might say something like, I'd really appreciate it if you could do your best to keep the mud off my floor, as I like to have clean floors in my house. This opens up the possibility that people could decide to support her in many different ways. People might wipe their feet on the doormat. Other people might take off their shoes before entering, or rinse their soles with a hose, knock their shoes on a rock, ask for a towel, or whatever. She would be much more likely to get her needs met by being open to a broader range of options of how it could go. And if someone did forget her request, she'd likely be able to handle it more matter-of-factly, more neutrally, understanding that not everyone holds the same standard for floor cleaning. This would allow her to keep her peaceful state of mind, no matter what might get tracked across her floor. The truth is that there is an infinite number of possibilities of all that occur as you are learning and growing. Why put yourself in a box with rigid, closed-minded thinking such as always, only, and never? These are words that fit the rules are meant to be broken category. Have you ever invested any emotional energy in an always, only, or never type of belief? If so, how did that go for you? Chances are pretty good that any investment you've held in an extreme belief did not turn out very well in the long term. The way out of emotional upset is to free yourself up from any of this outdated type of thinking and move into a broader possibility. Say, I let go of always, only, and never, and I move into the broader possibility of the loving. Action step. Let go of thinking in extremes such as always, only, and never by moving into a broader, more open perspective of life. Declaration. I now let go of thinking in terms of always, only, and never, moving out of thinking in extremes into the broader possibility of the loving. I am now open to many options. I am at ease with all that occurs. Many blessings of joy and vibrant freedom